Pat in the dark.
Pat in the dark is kind of spooky. Pat in the dark.
Pat, no.
Welcome into
Pat after dark.
No, welcome into Pafter Hours.
Pat after hours.
I'm your host, Pat the Designer. You get what you get on this show.
Oh, God.
Sometimes we show up on time. Sometimes we have last minute technical difficulties. And we got to get in where we fit in. Ladies and gentlemen.
Sultry sounds.
The sultry sound. The Pat the Designer and the Breezettes.
The Breezettes. Whatever.
Breeze down, dang it. I left the intro on.
Oh, God.
Breeze Nation, what is good? It is your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. As always, another phenomenal episode. Listen, we got a lot to get into on today's episode. We got to talk about Tiago Splitter, what he's going to bring to this team, and of course, talk about how this is now going to affect certain players on the team, who's going to get the most benefit out of this, and take a look at the upcoming draft. I'm joined by always, as I said, by the Breezettes, as Mr. Drew Better. If you knew better, you do better. Say, who better?
Nobody bro.
In the building. And the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Beatty himself, Jordan JC. They are sitting on the almost fully renovated podcast side of the podcast studio. It's all a podcast studio, but this is like the mother center.
Yeah.
The mothership, if you will. That's like, you know what I mean? That's,
George Clinton.
That's like the brothers in the back.
You know what I mean? We have our own podcast.
Yeah, right. We're separate from
Y'all
him.
kind of do have your own podcast going on.
Yeah. This is a nice setup.
I'm getting it together, man. I'm getting it together.
It's work in progress.
Yeah.
I thought I had the TV set up perfectly with a logo behind it, but apparently we're giving a lot of promo to Roku here. There we go. I was like, Roku getting a lot of pub on today's episode.
Free.
All that more on today's episode, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do, boys. What's going on, man? How you feeling?
Hey, man. It's Friday Eve on a holiday weekend.
Actually, it is a Friday Eve on a holiday weekend. Actually, it's definitely a holiday weekend. You boys taking off for Juneteenth?
Oh yes, man. You know we got to celebrate the freedom of my people.
You don't get off for Juneteenth at the gas company?
Yeah.
Disrespectful.
Yeah, I know.
ESPN is off tomorrow.
It is a little crazy, but I'm going to get my check and just keep it pushing.
They giving you holiday pay at least?
No.
No holiday
It's
pay?
a government holiday.
It's a federal. I
mean, I got my check today. I did get paid one day earlier than I usually do, so I'll take that.
You know why?
Because the banks
are closed. Because it's a government holiday.
Well, take it out with the gas company. I can't.
God.
Jeez.
That sucks, brother.
Because the traffic said it was a holiday weekend.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
The traffic said that.
Hey, Drew.
It was like
Drew, by the way,
accidents.
you want to know one of the best parts of some of the things that were acquired through certain means here?
What's that?
You want to pass me a brew out of that fridge right there, Drew?
Hold on a second. Let me see.
I got a couple of brews in there. Hey, grab one for yourself. JC, you want a brew? You're not a brew guy. Don't worry about that. Oh, yeah.
I'm taking one for myself. Thank you.
Oh,
Yes.
grab you one. Toss one over here, baby.
I do see Mr. Pure in there. I'll probably be partaking of that.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
You saw the hands? You saw the soft hands?
That was a nice catch.
Jose, did you see the throw?
That was beautiful.
Right between the mic
That was
and the
beautiful,
laptop?
baby.
Come on now.
That was beautiful.
Told you I could have went pro in baseball. Told you. That shows you right there. Shows you right there.
Y'all did argue about that a long time ago. I remember that.
We argued hard about it, too, actually.
I'm a baseball player. No, I'm a baseball player. No, I know baseball.
The argument was that he could go pro, and I was like, dog, you couldn't have gone
I could have went pro.
He was like, I could have went pro.
Could have went pro. I could have went pro.
Ooh, Crimson with the sponsorship action. They said we got a breezer freezer now. That's not bad. That's not bad.
I like that.
Hey,
I like that.
Crimson, good one.
I like that.
Hey, man, let's talk a little bit of Bulls basketball here. Listen, we heard from Tiago Splitter the other day. I thought he had some phenomenal quotes. You can win a press conference if you go out there and tell us what we want to hear, right? You can tickle the ears and make us feel good as Bulls fans, but it all comes down to production. But I do want to start here, boys, just from what you heard from Tiago Splitter. What were your thoughts on his comments early on? And did that get you a little bit more excited about the hire of Tiago?
For me, it didn't. It didn't get me a little bit more excited. What it did, it kind of reassured what I believe that we have in the making with Brandon Graham.
Bryson Graham.
Bryson Graham, sorry. Bryson Graham.
Brandon Graham is a name, though. Is that a player?
He's a
Brandon
player.
Graham is a name. Who is Brandon Graham? Look it up while you finish your point.
But he was a player, right? But goes back to Bryson Graham, that he has a vision and he is allocating his resources to fulfill that vision.
For the Eagles, Brandon Graham.
Yeah, number 55.
Number 55. You are absolutely right.
Right. See, I knew it.
Retirement. I remember.
Yeah. But he's getting people that has the same kind of vision he has. And so it reassured me about his vision more or less than tingly on the hire itself. Because he came in and if you watch the press conference, he said a few things that kind of reiterated what the GM said. And he had a few things about his own playing career and how he's learned being a player, then going overseas to Brazil, and I think it was in France or something else.
Yeah, he became a head coach in Paris instead of just staying on a bench. Yeah, exactly.
So that kind of reiterated to me what our goal is, but it didn't make me tingly just yet because he kind of he didn't get any specifics about how he's going to kind of tutor the younger people on the team and make Modest a little bit better. He gave a very generalistic term of I'm going to communicate with them. And of course, as a head coach, you have to communicate. But I didn't hear anything that would get me tingly.
I'll say I agree with you that he didn't give away any details on anything. It was a lot of surface talk, and he won the press conference. I thought that everybody was very enamored with his presence. I myself was enamored with his presence and the ability to like he said when he first came in, it's important to communicate with players, to text them, to reach out to them, to call them. That's that first foundation that you want to get kind of acclimated with when you're starting with a new team. But for me, I'm excited because this was one of the top prospects, and maybe it makes it, to me, it feels like a run back of what the Bears did. Like you tried to go out there, you had a long list of candidates, and your top guys were, I believe it was Chris Quinn, it was Sweeney, as you mentioned.
Chris Quinn was in there. Sweeney was in there.
And then you had
Micah Nori was in there.
Micah Nori, right. The only one I didn't really vibe with was the one that was on the team already. Yeah, Unseld Jr. But,
who's back, by the way? Who is basically going to be an assistant coach, which is great.
Wait a minute. No, he said cool. No. He didn't say in his presser. He said we're going to talk to the people that's on the staff, and because there's some people I want to add, and some people to see if they want to stay. So it's not a given that what's unsaid is going to be on the staff going forward. I was like, oh, that you really said that? Like, okay.
I mean, listen, you got to interview him. But I mean, he survived what?
A couple of coaching staffs.
3 staffs at this point. I mean, he was there. He was a head coach. He came on with Billy Donovan. Yeah. I think, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he here before? At some point, I feel like he was. So, I mean, he survived a few different staffs on this process. But anyway.
Yeah, I love the hire. I am excited because it just feels like a breath of fresh air. It feels like a new direction. Again, with Bryson Graham and Tiago. The one thing that stood out to me, there's a number of things that stood out to me, but to begin with is the fact that there was zero relationship before the hire. And I think that was the question that KC had.
Yeah, KC asked him that first.
For Bryson, and, he put up the zero, like, I didn't know this guy before I scouted him and went through the interview with him. Only thing I knew about him is when he was on the Spurs and won a championship. And so I like that, is that you're open to dealing with new people that can possibly give you a new perception of things,
perspective,
like your perspective, right, P word, perspective of things, and not necessarily just get kind of comfortable with people that that you're around. I feel like that's the best way to grow, when you're around people who give different ideas and come from different backgrounds that you're not familiar with. Then you can kind of grow together, kind of like what the Bears are doing. And so I feel like they're kind of taking on that same blueprint, and I think it's gonna be a fun time.
Listen, I thought, the hiring of Tiago Splitter was a good one.
We talked about it.
Pretty much initially. Like, he was my top guy on the list. I do have some concerns. I'm not going to sit here and say it's all, kumbaya just yet. I got to see it, right? You could 100% be Vinny Del Negro. You could. You know what I mean? Where it's like...
But is that all bad?
Well, I mean...
Because Vinny was over 500.
Then he finished over 500, which makes me believe he just didn't want to be a coach no more. And he also got in a lot of fights. But I think the thing with if you are Vinny Del Negro is like, I hope Tiago Splitter's not. I think he looks like Phil Jackson. I think that when you see him, you kind of get the vibe that this guy has some of the answers that you're looking for, especially with coaching. I thought he answered some of the questions around the players really well, where he's talking about, okay, well, how do you develop a big man? Well, it depends on if you're a smart player or if you're just going out there to play basketball. We want smart players on this team already having an identity of what he wants the team to look like. So those are things that I think, as takeaways, you feel good about him coming out and saying. But at the same time, you won the press conference. I thought you said some really good things. That doesn't mean that you're going to do any of them. Billy Donovan wasn't an idiot. Billy Donovan is a good coach. Billy Donovan just probably wasn't the coach that you needed in that moment. I didn't want Billy Donovan to come here when he was here. Hey, Tiago Splitter said a lot of things that Billy Donovan said. Hey, we're going to play with space. Hey, we're going to get up and down the court. We're going to be aggressive defensively. We want to be good on both ends. Billy Donovan said all them same things in the presser, and they started the season playing just like that. The problem was you couldn't keep your foot on their neck. You couldn't keep your foot on the players' behinds enough for them to maintain that level of play throughout the entire season.
But Tiago did say one thing that kind of reiterated what you're talking about. He said that he's able to, depend upon his team, change his philosophy. Like, it depends on when he goes and starts evaluating the players more. He might be more of a fast-paced team. But if the players on the team, if they're more efficient or best efficient, moving in a slow pace, he'll be able to change his philosophy to that. So him saying that he's going to be multifaceted in his approach did kind of squash that qualm that you just brought up, in my opinion.
We got to see it, though, right? Like, at the same time, it was Sam Smith at the end that was asking him about, listen, Sam get a little long in the questions.
They made.
Oh my God, bro! Do I got that on here? I don't know if I dropped that image in here. I didn't drop that image in here. I got to pull this up for the chat to see, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. This might be one of the funniest coaching staffs that we've ever had in the history of this team. Because I mean, just take a look at this picture here. These two, hold on. Are we still up on there? Look at that. This is why Sam Smith is asking the first question. Bro. It's like Bryson Graham is a face of like, what the heck? Like, is there a question in here? And Tiago just looked like,
like, okay, stop.
Tiago stopped listening halfway through the question. Bro. Listen, all respect to Sam Smith, but that had me crying laughing.
It did.
It was. It was
just like, these mothers are going to be hilarious at that. But I say all that, to talking about how they're building a team and what they're going to go about. I thought Sam Smith asked a good question. Hey, listen, you had a team that shot the three, and when the three ball wasn't falling, y'all kept shooting it. Why? That is my biggest gripe that I have with what we saw from the Bulls last year.
But that's the NBA in itself, because look at Boston. That's what they do.
Look at OKC.
I wouldn't call it a gripe, though, because
no, OKC don't shoot threes. OKC is more of a mid-range team. I know, but OKC can shoot three.
But the majority of the NBA is three.
Yeah, but the Bulls shot it at such a low percentage.
I agree.
In the mid-range that it's listen, Boston takes a ton of three-pointers, but the difference is, do you have guys that can make them or not? There are teams that adjust. I feel like we watch the big games and we say, oh, this is the identity of the NBA now. Yes, there's more threes than there's ever been. There's going to be more threes than there's ever been. But realistically, the best teams in the NBA go, man, that three ball ain't falling. Let me do something else. Let me get to the midi. Let me get to the rim. Let me attack the rim more. The Bulls didn't do that. The Bulls just went, keep shooting that mug. And you know why you can keep shooting it when you're a bad team and don't shoot the three well? Because I'm going to let you keep shooting that mug as much as possible.
That was my point. I'm like,
that was Billy. That was Billy.
Answered it very, very well. It was like, Drew, if I know that you're horrible at going to the left, what I'm going to let you keep doing? I'm going to make you keep going to the left when you drive. It's like, I'm not going to allow you to go to your strengths as much as possible. So if somebody is bad at three-point shooting, I'm gonna create space so they can actually have more shots at the top of the key.
Yeah.
Or so that would be the game plan if I'm defending the team. So he answered it perfectly. Is that no, we're not just going out there just chucking up threes, saying, oh, we want to just shoot threes just because that's the name of the game. There's still some things that go into the analytics, and then other things that they do well. Like he said, the rebounding off of the missed shots and putting it back. it's something they did well. So I thought he answered it.
Well,
very
that
good.
is, listen, that's a difference when it's working, right? Because you have a player like Donovan Klinger. I'm going to shoot these threes because they might go in and it's worth it. Also, I got a dude down there that's doing nothing.
12 rebounds a game. 12 rebounds a game.
You know, say it to however you want to say it, but I'm going to say it. He down there gobbling them up like hungry hippos.
Whoa, waka,
gobbling the rebounds up like it's hungry hippos down there. You know what I mean? Like that's how good he was at it. So yeah, call it what you want, brother. I'm just don't call me late for dinner. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
but no, I thought that, you know, here's the thing. He spoke really well.
He did.
And for a young team, I think you need a clear-cut communicator who is going to put you in a good position to go out there and be successful.
Yeah.
I don't think that Billy was. I think Billy leaned towards whatever he's a I don't want to say this as if it's a bad thing, because it is a good thing. He's a player's coach. But a player's coach is good if you got the players. Doc Rivers was a player's coach. Now, he'll call you out. He'll say some crazy stuff to you. But for the most part, he's letting Doe operate the floor how he want him to operate it.
That's because you have to have floor generals. You got to have veterans.
And they had that.
I don't think
we got that.
I don't know if we have those guys.
You don't think Josh Giddey's a floor general?
I don't think he's to the extent of a Rondo or a Kevin Garnett. Those
he's
guys.
not Kevin Garnett, but Kevin Garnett. What are you saying about floor general? A floor general is somebody that tells everybody where to go and put them in position.
For me, floor general is having that coach on the floor. Like, Giddey knows how to run the offense, but he's not going to be that Kevin Garnett. Hey, get in that spot. You're not rotating where you're supposed to be.
His vocal.
Well, that's your leader. That's your leader. He's not a leader. I don't even know if that's the case, though, because he was cussing Modest out almost every game last year.
Who?
Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey hated playing with Modest on defense. And listen, he wasn't a great defender either, but it's like, hey, you got to help me a little bit. Like, don't let him run butt naked and through the back door. You know what I mean? Like,
whoa.
That was crazy. That got worse as I went through it.
You got a lot of ones. They got a lot of.
That's too early on there.
Man, what did you have before we got here?
Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. How about that?
Right, man.
Try to resist like Cam did on first.
I was hey, bro, the first take clip of Cam.
Oh man,
Cam was fighting for his life on first take.
About Stephen A. Smith talking about, man, I'm running 9 guys deep.
No, what did he say? He said, Tom said, it was a great line before that.
Something. I forgot what he
No,
said.
it started with Tom Thibodeau don't want to play 9 guys.
He said he wouldn't play 9 guys in a baseball game.
Right. He
want
to go 9 guys deep.
That's an elite line.
It was, but then he followed it up with so many pauses.
Yeah, he said, listen, you can ride 9 guys.
Oh, yeah, ride them.
All the way through the playoffs. Yeah. I was like, whoa.
My goodness. I did want to mention one more takeaway that really, really stood out to me. I think it was my favorite thing when someone asked, I can't remember who, asked Bryson. Actually, no, they posed it to Tiago first. They said, you know, what do you think the characteristics that stood out? What are the characteristics that stood out to make you the favorite candidate or the guy to go with? And then he kind of said, well, I think that's a question for Bryson. Then Bryson sat up there and said one of the things was his adversity. I love the fact that you got put into a situation that you weren't prepared for, because that's what Bryson said adversity is dealing with the situation that you didn't expect.
Yeah, when
we all know what happened with the Billups situation.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, he's going to jail.
Lock
him up.
I say unfortunate, but
no, it ain't unfortunate. You put yourself in a bad spot. Lock him up.
It's
bro. They fired him and he made the playoffs, bro. Come on, dog.
Actually, did they even fire him? I think he's still technically employed by Portland.
Technically, I believe he is employed.
No, he's still
I don't think they have fired him yet.
He's still in
the
investigation
is still open, and they going.
And nobody went to jail yet except for Rozier.
Main dude.
Rozier's the only one that's about to go to jail.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but lock him up.
That was my thing. Is like one game into the season, you had to take over for a coach. Maybe you have a different philosophy from his. You're a big man. He's a point guard in the league. Like, there's so many moving parts. Then he said, you know, he tried to make it all about basketball this season. He was trying to make sure that everybody just focused on playing on the court. And you won 41 games and you got into the first round, you know, as a 7th seed, I believe. And, you know, you still lost, but that was a lot of good accomplishments for a team that could have been easily distracted because they went a whole nother direction that they didn't realize. going with a new coach, and then maybe having to think about like what's going to happen with Billups. Our season is in shambles, and then you continue to develop Denny Avdia. Shaden Sharp was a beast. Scoot Henderson kind of reclamated, revived his career.
Hey,
like there's a lot of improvements to this team that I think that's why you're excited about the hire more so with that.
Right, but that's what we talked about on the last show on Monday about Tiago and the fact if he did, elevate those rookie and second year players to, make their game a little bit better so they were able to make the playoffs in a deep, Western Conference, because you look at the
very deep Western Conference.
You're talking about the Western Conference is they're saying is even though the Knicks won a championship, that the Western Conference was hand above fist 1 through 10 better than everybody in the East. And for them to actually make the playoffs, actually win a game in the playoff against OKC with a team that was in shambles.
No, it was Spurs, right?
No, it was OKC. OKC was number 1.
Yeah, but they were the 7th seed.
The 7th seed, I thought the 8th seed. Okay,
they played the Spurs.
Okay, sorry. Correct that. The Spurs. Well, they won one game against the Spurs. And so it took a lot to do that. It's a very big accomplishment, doing that with a young team like that. And the Bulls having a very similar team that's a roster under construction, I think that, he is definitely going to be the person to be able to help facilitate the growth.
I love that, yeah. Yep.
Who do you think is going to be most benefited by Tiago coming in and being the head coach of this team? Because, I think the easy answer is Modest.
It is.
But I'll be honest with you. When I think about this question, I don't know what's going to... When I did the interview with Adam Amin talked about how what Giddey was asked to do, he did really well. Giddey's job number 1 is get everyone else involved. Job number 2 is to help him rebound. Job number 3 is to score if we need you to. If Tiago Splitter tells Josh Giddey, I want you to play like Denny. You're 6 foot.
Play like who?
Denny.
Oh.
Because Denny's what, 6'9"?
Okay.
Yes.
Josh Giddey 6'8", something like that.
Oh, yeah.
You're 6'8". You got the wingspan. You can rebound incredible. I want you to focus more on being a scorer. Get everybody involved. But I want one to become score the basketball, or maybe 1 and 1A scoring passing. And I want 3 to be rebounded for you because we're going to go get a real big man on this team. The one thing that I'm excited about as a Bulls fan, we've employed the 2 tallest head coaches in basketball now. Tiago Splitter, 6'11". I'm assuming we're going to get a big.
Oh, they're looking at, supposedly, word on the street is they're looking at getting Walker Kessler.
Walker Kessler.
Right.
I like a Walker Kessler. I saw Jalen Duren possibly.
I don't like that. I don't like that. Because he flamed out when the lights were bright.
You do have to ask the question around Duren. Is what he showed you in the playoffs who he is? You do have to ask that question.
Okay.
Because it's now 2 playoffs in a row. But I will say this: he flamed out on a team where what number option was he?
Didn't make a difference.
It does.
Oh,
it does.
No, it did because he
number 1 and number 2.
He still didn't rebound.
He did rebound.
He didn't rebound. He
averaged 10 rebounds a game.
To me, he didn't rebound in the playoffs as much as he did in the regular season. He didn't.
No.
He wasn't in the dunker spots.
He wasn't
in the dunker spots like he was in there. Because honestly, he didn't have a very extensive offensive game. He rebounded and dunked. That's how he got his double doubles. And to me, he didn't do that in the playoffs. Yes, the competition is elevated in the playoffs.
Well, I wouldn't say that. It was Wendell Carter. Wendell Carter bodying you up, you got to have a conversation about it.
Exactly. So
which is the thing. I'm willing to have a conversation.
I'm a Walker Kessler and what's the other guy? It's another not Klingon. Oh my God, it's
Capella?
No, not Capella. It's another big tall guy they was talking about.
Heck
no.
Heck no. I was about to say, I know you're not about to get excited about Ayton.
No, I'm not getting excited about it, but they actually reference him too because he's
nothing.
Because he's 6'10". He's 2010. 2010 with us. And plus, we need to fulfill the money aspect of it too.
He's a double-double?
He's a double-double guy. Even with the Lakers, double-double still.
Who, Ayton?
Yes.
Yeah, but Ayton is what you're upset about Jalen Duren being the entire season. I don't need DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton don't work hard enough.
But I'm also not paying Ayton top money like Durham.
Yeah, but I would say this with Jalen Duren, he's 22 years old. This is his second playoffs ever, and he's
a long way to go.
He's the second scoring option on the team. If you're the second scoring option on the team, that means they're focusing on you to stop you from scoring. You just said it. He don't have scoring moves. So he's not Shaq. If he comes to a Bulls team, if you were to pay him now, I'm not even sure I want him, because you do got to ask, okay, is this who you are in the playoffs? But he's a different player on this team.
I don't think so.
He gets a different opportunity, because if you're drafting Caleb Wilson, he's one or two scoring option. You've got Modest Buzelis and Josh Giddey.
So he's 4. So he's definitely going. If you can't do the dunker spot when you're number 3, then how you supposed to do the dunker spot when you're number 4?
What happens if you're the dunker and rebounder is now everybody's not focusing on you, because you got to focus on Modest. They didn't have to focus on nobody else. Who else scoring on that team?
It was Amir or Amor.
The fact that we can't even name him.
The Thompson.
Asur Thompson was scoring. Asur Thompson. He
was driving.
Score.
He was driving in the playoffs. In the playoffs, he was scoring, and so was Cade. And then old boy off the bench, off the bench, Jennings or whatever that name.
Yeah, Dennis Jenkins.
Yeah, Jenkins. Yeah,
but
he was scoring too.
But it's Cade
and Tobias Harris. He was still the same number 4, because Tobias was hooping in the playoffs, bro. Look at his stats.
Cade
Tobias
and it's Duren.
No, but it wasn't. It wasn't in the playoffs. It was Cade and it was Tobias and it was Jenkins and it was Durham, because he couldn't do nothing.
But Duren couldn't get himself going, and so then it becomes Dennis Jenkins. Then it becomes Tobias Harris. This season, throughout the entire season, it was Cade and it was Duren. And when the playoffs get here, I'm focusing on one of y'all. We can't stop Cade.
I don't like him.
I'm focusing on Duren.
I don't like him.
Well, you know what?
I don't like him. But you can have him, but I don't like him.
Going kind of circling back to what you were asking about what player we think will stand out outside of Modest. I know he talked about Modest. I'm gonna say it's inconclusive, because we obviously have the draft right around the corner. Because it seems like we just are getting Caleb Wilson. Yeah. I keep thinking I said that wrong.
The other one is Williams. Yeah, it's Williams, right? For about years.
Caleb Wilson, like, kind of has been just given it to us as a gift already. If we get him, and then maybe we trade the 15th pick and come up a little bit more, whoever we get with that, or we stay there, I think those are the players that are going to have the biggest impact, or the biggest opportunity, to be developed under Tiago, because Caleb, by a lot of people's standards, he has all of the intangibles, all the measurables, the skills to be, a beast on both ends of the court. And so I think once we see how they get added to the roster, whoever that is, then,
So you don't think anybody on the current roster is
outside of Modest
factor? Like, I'll be honest with you, like, it's not a bad take either. Like, I think nobody's safe. Your job ain't your job all the time. Nobody's safe. Nobody's going to give you the opportunity. You got to take that money. I said, I hope Modest Buzelis goes into training camp, because realistically, the 4th overall pick is going to be your number 1 option. Hopefully it should be. If you got the right 4th overall pick, he should be your number 1 option. You should put the ball in his hands. He should be able to go out there and hoop. If I'm Modest Buzelis and I hear that, I go to Tiago Splitter tonight and say, I'm your number 1 option. You put the ball in my hands, I'm going to find a way to get the ball in the bucket.
See, I don't doubt that. To answer your question, that I'm with JC, I'm thinking that he's going to be most impactful on the players coming in, because he's going to have to, as he brought up in the news conference, how do you massage these egos? Because if you come in with the number 4th guy, he's going to be your number 1. Modest right now, as you says, he feels that he's the number 1. But if Modest has to make that developmental jump this year, like, yes, he's gotten incrementally better each year, but we want him and expect him to be that number 1 option, then you have to go out on the floor. There can't be it's too many games last year where he scored 8-10 points. You can't do that being number 1. As on a bad off night, you still have to put up 17 to 18 points on a bad night if you're the number 1 option. So for me, that's what I said. Tiago is going to have to, kind of massage these egos of these. That was a pause?
No, it wasn't. I got nervous.
Oh.
You said kind of massage these, and I was like,
what are we massaging?
The egos of Modest versus the new hopefully top tier talent we're going to get at number 4.
Yeah, listen, that's the hope. And the bottom line of it all is that, you're hoping you're going to be able to not only just go out there and get one guy going, but turn these guys into a unit, right? I do agree with you on this. The one thing about Micah Nori, if the Bulls have to gone out and get Micah Nori, that I would have really enjoyed seeing was his ability to manage ego. That's what I think is going to have to be the next thing that this Bulls team does really well. Because when Zach showed up, Billy gave the keys to DeMar. And we were like, well, shouldn't this be Zach's team? But then it was like, also, well, Zach didn't fight for this to be his team.
Yeah.
But he kind of just gave the keys to DeMar. When Jimmy came into his own, right? Like, they didn't know, the Garpax and them didn't know. And I would say, I don't want to say Thibs didn't know, because I think Thibs liked the contention. But it kind of got to this point where they were just like, we don't know how to manage all the egos on this team, so we're just going to get rid of one of them. And then the other one got banged up, and they were like, well, we don't know how to build around Jimmy Butler either, so we're going to get rid of him too. I think if you're the Bulls right now, the one thing that Tiago Splitter is going to have to do with a number 4 overall pick, with Modest Buzelis on the team, I'll give you with a number 15 overall pick. If you can't go out there and you can't find a way to manage and get these guys to work together at a high level and play within a system that makes them both great, you're going to be in trouble. And there are going to be guys looking over their shoulder or looking around saying, hey, like, we need better answers than what you're giving us right now. And you're going to be in the exact same situation that you were just in. So we'll see what ends up happening, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing love. Hit the like button, subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. I do want to finish it out with this, though, because we do got the draft this coming week. Probably be.
Give me the draft sound.
Draft sound. It's not the NBA
it's
one.
The
I do have the.
Hey, give me the draft right there. It's the draft sound. Everybody knows that.
It is the NFL draft.
That is the synonymous of the draft.
But NFL
draft?
It's not the NBA.
No, that is the synonymous.
Here's the worst
that
part.
Sound is synonymous with draft.
I couldn't tell you what the sound is before an NBA
For the
pick.
NBA draft, I don't either. I don't know.
That's what I say. That is synonymous with draft.
Is there a sound?
That's a good question. We'll have to look that up.
I have to look that up. I don't even know if there's a sound. And next Wednesday is going to be
Tuesday.
is it Tuesday?
Tuesday the first round. Wednesday is the second round.
Wednesday's the second round. Yeah, we don't care about Tuesday or Wednesday. Next Tuesday, we're going to find out who the Chicago Bulls end up with. And here's the big conversation around this now. When you look at where the Bulls are at with the 4th overall pick, it's kind of just who do you end up with. And I'll be real with you boys, as we've gone through this, people are like losing their minds. I don't want this guy. I don't want that guy. I hope he doesn't fall. I hope he stays at the top. I don't care which of the 4 you get. Because they all are so talented. If I get Cam Boozer, I'm just as excited with Cam Boozer.
You better not. You better not.
But here's the thing.
You better not. Because I will run receipts about you crapping on Boozer.
This is the thing.
You've been booing Boozer?
No, this is the thing.
Yeah, no. Stand on.
Can I make my point?
No, boo Boozer.
Stand on. You cannot speak.
Well, what am I doing the show for?
Contrary to popular belief, he's the
head job.
Right, exactly.
The hard R on that is
they
crazy.
say, I'm the captain now.
No, here's the thing about it. We're 4. I can't dictate who we get or not. If I get Cam Boozer, my expectation is different on him than Caleb Wilson. It is. People may view Caleb Wilson as the 4th best player there. I would say Cam Boozer is probably 4th best in that conversation realistically, but a little less injury history. If we end up with Cam Boozer, I think Cam Boozer is a really good number 2 for you, and you better hope Modest is the number 1. If you end up with Caleb Wilson, I think Caleb Wilson is obviously probably the higher ceiling player, but has more of the opportunity to bust out.
It's different. as they say, I'm sorry I cut you off.
Oh, I ain't saying it.
Boozer has the highest floor right now.
Yes, he does.
So for him, you're going to come in, you're going to get your 2010.
He can give you 20 and 10 right now.
Right now as a rookie.
But 6 years from now, he might still be giving you just 20 and 10.
He's never going to. But he's never
He's
going.
his daddy, but with better defense.
Oh.
Exactly. Exactly. A little bit more athletic. But if you get.
No, it's crazy.
If you
didn't like Carlos Boozer,
bro,
He was the consolation prize. He had Bosh, he had LeBron.
He didn't have to do anything. He was talented.
Bro, look at all
He
this.
was talented at yelling at everybody.
No, look at all this.
Give that Joe.
Look at all this years in Utah.
Celebration guy.
And when he came here, bro, he
was nice in Utah. He was nice.
He had 10, 12 years. No, I don't know 12. I think he 10 solid years. I could definitely say 10 solid years of 2010, bro.
I don't like the undersized big man. I think that's what it is. I don't like the undersized big man. I hate the days of undersized big men. Like, I need somebody that has the length, the width, like the height. Like, I want a true big man in the post. I don't want a 6'8" power forward.
Was 17-9 his first year on a team with Derrick Rose.
Yeah, okay.
15-8 his second year, 16-9 his third year, and then it gets bad. Then you got, and we had re-signed him for some reason. There was an ugly re-signing there, but
because
13-8,
we have money to spend.
13-8, 11-6, and he was done by that point. Yeah.
But his 4 to 5 years in Utah, he was 2010. So you look at
he was only 20 and 10 1 year.
Just
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years of 20 and 10. But he was always elite on the floor. It was
29, 2010.
It was also a different NBA. Like, if you were putting up 17 and 10, we're only putting up 95 points.
Yeah.
You're half of you're what? You're 1/4 of the game scoring.
I take that.
Yeah.
I take that. Especially now with the 4th pick, if a guy can come in and give me 17 and 9. Hey, you win a rookie of the year, 17 and 9.
Yeah, probably.
So for me, if I'm looking high ceiling, I want Caleb
Wilson. We're gonna do that for a while.
Exactly. Caleb Wilson. But if my consolation prize is Boozer,
I like consolation.
I'm winning. I'm winning either way.
You're winning, and that's my thing, right? Like, I don't think that you're in a. There were a lot of Bulls fans that were like upset that the Bulls didn't get the number 1 overall pick, and
I was one of them.
And it's just like, well, I want AJ the best.
I want AJ.
I would have loved AJ the best. I would have loved Darren Peterson. Either one of them. If Darren Peterson falls to the Bulls, I'm not upset.
I am.
There might be a chance of that.
I am. You are? Yeah, I am. Because I don't have. What's the word I'm looking for? I really don't have a faith in his work ethic, because
I said the same thing about Anthony Edwards.
No, but to me,
everybody said the same thing about Jalen Johnson.
But you saw
anybody want Jalen Johnson on their team right now?
I did, but it's something about this dude that is. But everybody said it. But you have to come in and prove it. So before the draft, I want somewhat of a proven work ethic. So you don't know what Caleb Wilson is going to do. You don't know what Darius Acuff is going to do. You don't know what AJ DeBanza is going to do. But you have a certain, idea of their work ethic based upon their college, career. Peterson, you don't know, because he's, bro, it was one play they showed where you sit over there, he crossed over dude, dropped him on 3, and then was like, hey, take me out. Like, bro, you just was fluid 2.5 seconds ago, and now you want to be taken out, and you didn't go back in for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So to me, that you not being a teammate, you've done this all season. Yeah, you don't know about his hamstring, you don't know about his health, but it was like you're healthy enough to get off, pause whatever you want, get off for like 5 or 10 minutes, and they be like, take me out for the rest of the game. That doesn't sit well with me being a elder statesman of the game.
Do you think, though, that would fly with a coach like Tiago Splitter? You think Tiago is going to allow him?
I don't even want that in my locker room.
But do you think that he's going to be allowed to do? Because think about like the guy we always bring up with that that went to the Philadelphia Eagles, and we could have had Jalen Carter. When you surround him,
they literally said Jalen Carter was lazy.
Who?
That's what they were saying before the draft because
right before
how he was looking, they were like, he's lazy.
And but the Philadelphia Eagles took a chance on him, and obviously he's very dominant still on the field. But you put him around a bunch of vets, you put him around the right coaching that's going to discipline him and hold him accountable. I think Tiago is the type of coach possibly that's going to hold someone like that accountable if that's really what Darren Peterson is about. If he's like me first and it's like, no, I need to get out and, he's not for the team, that's going to get found out right away. By the way, also, I think that's going to get evaluated and we're not going to pick him if that's the case.
That would be found out via the draft.
Yeah.
Here's my thing with Darren Peterson. When it was early on and it was early in the year and everybody, he was doing the same things. Like nothing was different. He was pulling himself out of games. Whether it was for creatine or not. He used college as a stepping stone. He didn't take college seriously, which a lot of players are doing that now. But there wasn't any conversation about anyone else.
What do you mean?
There was nobody close. Darren Peterson was the clear-cut number one pick.
He was in the very beginning.
There wasn't even a conversation that anybody else was in the realm close to Darren Peterson. That's how talented Darren Peterson was. They were like,
Jordan.
He's Kobe.
Yeah, right, Kobe.
They were like, this kid is Kobe.
He is. But then if you look at it, even though it's going to show my age a little bit, if you look at like Chris Webber, you look at Derek Coleman, those guys had immense talent, but they didn't have the work ethic when they got to the NBA. They were what's they say, complacent with, I ain't gonna work. I'm just gonna do this.
They just got by on their talent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We don't want that. And we don't want that. We want that dog. We've been asking for that Kill Bill guy.
But we're in an NBA
as
now.
As skilled as he is, I don't want that.
But we're in an NBA now where you get that at the NBA.
I don't want that.
Mugs aren't giving you that in college anymore. A bunch of this Darren Peterson is not the first. Darren Peterson is probably the first to do it in a manner of like, hey, mid-game, I showed you enough. I'm gonna get up out of here. But Darren Peterson is not the first person in the past 5 years to say that's enough. Caleb Williams did it. We wanted that. Caleb Williams did not play that bowl game.
The bowl game at the end of the year is different than asking out throughout the whole season, bro. That's different. That's different.
You left your teammates out there.
That's different. That to me.
And the only reason that it worked out is because Miller Moss went out there and balled out, and they won the game anyway. But if they had lost the game, and even with them winning, the biggest knock was, well, Caleb Williams left his teammates high and dry on it.
But we
ain't care in that situation.
That's different. When you talking about like if he'd have set out like the NIT. Understood, because the NIT don't mean nothing. But you asking out of the game 1 out of 30, game 5 out of 30, game 15 out of 30. That is way different than I'm protecting my draft stock on the last game of the season.
But this one get ugly though. In college basketball, because of how it's set up now, none of them mean anything. Kansas still made the tournament while he was doing that.
Because they had other good teams.
Still were a high seed while he was doing that.
Because they had other good players.
Sure, but I mean, also NCAA regular season don't matter no more. They've messed it up. So I mean, what is it? 3,000 teams make the tournament at this point.
No, just 64. Just 64. But that's fine, and I be that. But I just don't want. I don't want a part-time player on my team. I want somebody that's going to work. I want the Jalen Brunson. I want the talented. The talented player that's going to put in the work. I like a Modest. I like a Giddy. They put in work to get better. I don't want that part-time player. And that's just me.
I love Kirk Heinrich. He was one of the hardest working players in the NBA. I would definitely rather have Derrick Rose, who didn't need to work that hard, but maybe just did.
But he still put in work, though. Derrick put in work.
But we're assuming that Darren Peterson isn't going to put in work.
He hasn't.
Again, well, he's getting to the NBA. He's still a top 4 pick.
On talent alone. That's why I brought up those players from the 90s.
But that's why I brought up Anthony Edwards, because
he was like,
I like baseball more.
Anthony Edwards did not take basketball seriously until they were like, you might be the number 1 pick. He was like, well, I guess I'm gonna play basketball.
I don't know. It could change. I agree with you, but I also think that there's a room for improvement.
The mindset is just different because of what these kids are getting.
Yeah.
You're getting a check already.
NIL
You're getting
deals
the
are-
NIL.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
the mindset has become so different. And listen, I'm not going to disagree with you. I don't like it. I don't like what Jalen Johnson did. Jalen Johnson got to the tournament, played the whole season, got to the tournament, said, y'all stay blessed. Have a good one. I'll be in the draft. Like, the draft 6 months away. Yeah, I know. Like, I don't like
Texas,
it.
man.
But at the
That's
same
just
time,
hilarious.
if you ask me today, Pat, do you wish the Bulls had Jalen Johnson? Yeah. Yeah, he a dog.
But he
Can get it on both ends.
But as soon as he got to the NBA, and even before the NBA, in the pre-draft workouts, you could see that he took his craft seriously. I agree with you. In that game, he was like, "Yo, peace." But then, as soon as the pre-draft process came up, you seen this boy was in the gym. He was working.
Yeah.
Peterson is like, "Yeah, if I ain't going to number one, I ain't talking to nobody." Like, bro, you gotta go to number. You
know what I wonder if he's going to be?
Do number two.
I did think about this, and listen, I don't think we live in an NBA where GMs are this stupid anymore because it shouldn't have happened. But is he Gilbert Arenas?
Oh man,
Gilbert Arenas was supposed to be the top pick, or at least a top 5 pick. Gilbert Arenas attituded his way into the second round.
Correct.
Gilbert Arenas was elite.
Gilbert Arenas was cold.
He was elite.
Arizona
he was
with
killing everybody.
Richard Jefferson.
Yes.
Bro, he said that's when I knew something was wrong when Richard went before me. He was like, look, I'm not that bad. Like,
Yeah.
And Richard was a really good player, but it was like,
dude, Gilbert put up.
Trevor Ariza was on there too.
Trevor Ariza, dude,
They had a nice squad.
Dude, Gilbert put up 50 a few times for Washington.
yeah. But again, Gilbert Arenas, extremely talented player.
Oh, you talking about the Wizards?
Had all the talent in the world.
Yeah.
But everybody overlooked him because they didn't like his attitude. They didn't like his work. They thought he was too cocky and they needed to knock him down a peg. Now, granted, Gilbert didn't win nothing in Washington, and injuries took away everything that you hoped he was going to be able to accomplish. But Gilbert was a hooper.
Gilbert was
I would have loved Gilbert Arenas on the Bulls.
Yes.
While Gilbert Arenas was in the NBA.
In his prime, yeah. He was
in his prime, Gilbert Arenas was a problem.
Bro, he was giving Kobe the work too, bro.
3 years was a problem.
Man, for 2 to 3 years.
Injuries took it away from him. But it's like, I look at situations like that, and I'm like, I don't think, like if Darren Peterson fell to the Bulls, there are people that were like, I'd pass over.
No, not at 4.
No, that would be dumb. That would be dumb.
At 4,
that'd be dumb.
At 4, honestly,
can't pass up. You can't
pass up the talent at 4.
You just better know how to coach him.
Not even that. Coach him or flip him.
Flipping him. What? Giannis is going to Boston possibly already. Who you flipping him for? Who else is out there that you want?
That's the fact that I want. But if I don't feel like I have the infrastructure for that,
I think the only player I'd realistically be talking about it with is maybe Jaylen Brown.
Exactly.
But even then, Jaylen Brown is already. I mean,
But he might be
here's the thing that we know the Bulls aren't going to do. Bryson Graham's already said, he's like, listen, we're going to do this the right way. We're not rushing the process.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to build through the draft. He already has his plan laid out. So I'm not even expecting that to be a conversation of flipping him. Like, if Darren Peterson is there, guess what? You about to figure out how to make Darren Peterson work. And I think the Bulls probably would have gotten the best player in the draft.
We would have potentially, but it's as they say, 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. Yes, he is the most talented. If he had not did what he did in Kansas, he would have been the consensus number 1 pick.
Yep.
Because even though AJ is cold, bro, Darren was giving him the business in season. So he is the one that has the biggest floor. I mean, the biggest ceiling, but he's the one that has to shake his floor. Shake his floor because of his work ethic.
I don't think he'll be a bust. I think he'll be, if he's at his worst, I think he'll be Kobe White, just a microwave scorer that really doesn't contribute in other ways, a volume scorer, kind of a Zach LaVine, where he's not really contributing to really winning and being that guy.
He can put up 65 points, but you lost by 4.
You still lost, yeah. So for me, but just to kind of throw it in a different direction real quick, because I know everybody's saying Caleb Wilson for number 4, but what I heard from KG, Kendall Gill, he had an interview recently, and said that Calipari mentioned that Darius Acuff was the best point guard he might have ever coached. He coached Derrick Rose. That's saying something. If he's there at 4 and you have Caleb or Darius, or if Caleb is going and Darren Peterson or Boozer is your options, I may take a look at Darius Acuff. I may.
What you gonna do with
I
Giddy?
may.
You switching Giddy to the 2 then?
Well, you probably trading.
Probably trading him.
Yeah,
Trade him for something.
I'll be
Trade him with
honest
that
with
15 and go back up.
Yeah, I'll be honest with
Keaton
you.
Wagler.
I'm nothing.
No.
Listen, I know what we just saw with Jalen Brunson. I'm not gonna say small guards can't win. I thought that was an asinine take when Becky Hammond made it. There was like
I did too.
There was
just trying to be smart.
There was a 6'2" guard that had won multiple championships at that point that could score
that is
out of the gym.
the norm, though.
You can't win when that guy's your number one.
Because
Stephen Curry. Well, actually, when you think about it,
she said he's an outlier.
He's an outlier. But she said he's an outlier. She was an outlier.
Well,
He's
listen,
not really small.
we
though.
running out. We
4, right?
No, he's 6'3". He's 6'3".
6'3", something like that. But we running out of outliers when it gets, you know what I mean? Like at a certain point, it's like
it's only been 4.
No, Isaiah Thomas,
it's Isaiah,
Stephen Curry.
I saw it today.
Jalen.
Jalen, and it's one more.
What's the one?
Jalen Brunson
back in the day.
Tony Parker.
And Tony Parker.
That's the 4.
Now,
it's only been at 4.
But see, this is the thing. That's the 4.
Johnson. You're right. You're right. Tony Parker.
That's the 4.
That's the 4. That's it.
I would say now again. This is based on scoring guards. Because I see some people dropping, Rondo wasn't big, Derek Fisher wasn't big. They weren't scoring.
Scoring guards. Because
these are based on the focal point of your offense being built around guys that can score. But I would also go on to say this. While, yes, the point is to win an NBA championship, you can't win an NBA championship if you can't get to an NBA championship. And there's a bunch of small scoring guards that have gotten to NBA championships. Allen Iverson was a small scoring guard. And Muzz was just like,
show.
He's a shooting guard. AI was a shooting guard
one-man show
in the sense that he shot the basketball more than the point guard did on the team. Yeah, but we know, he was handling the ball like the point guard on that team. Eric Snow was not handling that basketball.
Aaron McKee.
That's J-Mac's cousin.
Oh, really?
Aaron McKee is J-Mac's cousin, yeah.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
But dang near half his family made the pros.
That's crazy.
That's it. What a lineage.
Aaron.
But
does he got some cousins? I got some daughters, so I need to get to the NBA and NFL myself.
That's hilarious. That's
I'm about to say something crazy. I had to think about that one. But no, I'm listen, it's very easy to say you want to draft somebody that's going to win you an NBA championship. Unlike the wildest statement I've heard that might be wildest statement I've heard in my lifetime, what Vincent Goodwill said. That the Larry O'Brien trophy is a participation trophy at this point.
Oh my God, you heard that?
That might be, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
When the heck did he say that?
Bro, he was on Get Up.
Vincenzo been acting a fool. Cause
Vincenzo.
That's what Greeny calls him. Greeny,
just forget the D, huh?
Right. Vinny Greeny calls him Vincenzo.
I don't think I've ever heard a take that bad in my life. That's one of the worst takes I've ever heard. But if you believe. My thing is I came up in an era where if guys got you there, you were very proud of those guys.
Yeah.
Your goal is to draft guys that get you there. I don't think Darius Acuff is one of those guys. I think Darius Acuff ends up being in the NBA more of a Trae Young than he does. I don't think he's bad.
Oof.
But I think he's more of a Trae Young than he is a Derrick Rose.
Jalen?
Or Jalen Brunson. What I mean by that is I think Darius Acuff is, you're going to look at stat lines at the end of the night and you're going to say, oh, he put up 35, had 8 assists and had 6 rebounds. You're going to go, what a game. And then I'm going to sit there and I'm going to be like, on what shooting percentage? Well, he put up 35 on 29 shots. Well, that's a bad day. That means that, you won the game and he put up 29 shots and you outscore somebody. You're not going to be able to do that all the time.
Efficiency is important. But
efficiency is the most important.
It is, but it's not, because honestly, look at Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson got the MVP, but his first 3 out of the first 5 games, he was not. Yeah, the first 2 and 3 games, he was not efficient at all. He was 30 on 30 shots.
Yeah, he had 30 points, 12 for 31. He had 20 points, 7 for 25. But then he went 11 for 25, 32 points, 12 for 25, 36 points, 14 for 27, 45 points. That's crazy.
Last game was the best one.
His last
Correct.
game was the best one, which is the most important one for you to
I
get.
thought he had
4 for 7 from 3 in that last game. 3 for 7 from 3. 3 for 5.
That's what I was thinking about.
Anunoby was efficient.
OG was very efficient. That's what I was thinking about.
OG, I was actually rooting for him to get the MVP if he had a.
I thought he was going to get it. I thought he was going to get it. That last game.
Until Brunson put up 45.
Politics, you ain't giving it.
No, until Brunson.
From Jalen.
No, he could have been like Iguodala.
Iguodala got it.
Yeah.
Over Stephen Curry.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Like, we've actually seen that quite a bit.
Seen a few times.
That's true.
Stephen Curry didn't get a Finals MVP till his last one.
Till the last one, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Makes sense.
But I mean, listen, if I'm going to give you an MVP, I mean, 45 in the closeout game.
45 in the closeout game. Yeah. And it was efficient.
Insane,
and it was efficient. And he was going up. He was bodying Wemby. He was dropping Wemby on that last game.
He was driving into the chest of a dude that's 3 feet taller than him, and he throwing the ball up off of the glass and knocking it. It was insane.
It was crazy.
One of the greatest finals experiences I've seen.
It is.
It's one of the first times I'm looking forward to the Bulls draft because they have 2 first picks and picks that matter.
What are you looking at? And I know, JC, you probably dive a little deeper on the draft breakdown. Is there somebody at 15 that you eyeballing heavily, or do you want the Bulls to trade up?
No. He used to play for Illinois, so you know this dude, and I think he transferred to Michigan. Johnson. I do like him as a big man. I liked his.
Oh, okay. I'm not mad at that.
His energy. He kind of reminds me of the Jalen Duran type, or Cameron Carr from Baylor.
Cameron Carr might not be there at 15, but yeah, Cameron Carr's a bucket.
Yeah, those two are really, really.
I've softened on my take on this. You know, a little Dukalax on my take on this one.
Okay.
I would like the Bulls to trade up.
Really?
I would like the Bulls to pair a couple of picks. If you got to send a player, I'm not attached to nobody on this team. I don't care.
Outside of Modest,
I'm not even really attached to Modest.
Not even Modest?
Because here's the thing: what if Tiago Splitter walks in and says it's okay for you to trade Modest? What does that tell you about what Modest is going to be in this system?
I think based off the interview, he probably is the only one.
He's probably. It feels like he's safe. I'm not going to act like it doesn't feel like he's safe.
I think him and Giddy safe. I think Giddy safe too.
Giddy because of the money, because he paid him already.
Yeah, but he only making $20 million. Giddy making very tradable money, ridiculously tradable money.
Okay, well, never mind.
I would like you to trade back into the lottery if there's an opportunity for you to do it.
Ooh, that's gonna take a lot of capital.
Not really. If I give you 15 and I send you one of my 37,000 second round picks.
Second round picks don't hit
and
like
Giddy?
that.
Second round picks be hitting. Second round picks got Kevin Durant to Houston.
True.
Second round picks be getting stuff done out here. But if I'm, I'm not gonna say whatever it takes, but I'd be willing to give a lot to get back in the lottery because I think there's gonna be some names like a Cameron Carr that's not gonna be there at 15. I think there's gonna be some names, and you're probably going big man with your first 4 pick. The reality is Darren Peterson's probably not falling. You're going to end up with Boozer and or Wilson. And if that's the case, I need to go out there and find probably another scorer in that situation. And if you can move up and get the part where I've softened on this is I wasn't big on bringing Keaton Wagler in.
I am now.
I love the talent that the kid has, but I feel like he's going to be an off-ball player here in Chicago, and I'd rather have him on ball as much as possible. But at the same time, if he's the better player, you give him the ball and you trade Josh Giddey. I hate to tell you this, bro. You got Shai Gilgeous again. He might get Shai Gilgeous twice in 3 years.
But I think Keaton Wagler is Shai Gilgeous.
Could be.
The way he plays, he doesn't dominate you with athleticism and elite speed. He just is very shifty. He gets to his spots where he wants to be. He can create space, and he's a level 3 scorer. He just finds his way to score. But it's not. It's very. It's in the process of the game. It's methodical. It's not fast. It's not like Derrick Rose type. It's not like he's blowing past you with elite quickness.
You know what it actually looks like? And this is weird because they both light skinned and like they like incredibly light skinned. He looks like Zach LaVine. He looks a lot like Zach LaVine. Now I think he has a higher
IQ.
I think he has a higher basketball. I'm not going to say IQ because I don't think Zach is stupid basketball-wise. I think he has a better IQ in big moments than Zach LaVine had, which is the most important thing for you to have. But I really see the kid and I see Zach LaVine's talent, which is an incredibly talented player. As an elite, he's not as athletic as Zach was, but that's an elite talent player.
Yeah.
With maybe a role player mindset.
Sexy.
I haven't done as much of a deep dive as JC, but I don't. Now, it's not a player that I really am focused on. I'm really more focused on finding talent.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to trade up unless I can not sacrifice my future and I can find talent that I'm missing. So for me, we're missing a little bit outside shooting, and a big man.
That could be Carr.
So if I can find that at 15, and I'm fine with keeping my pick, but because I think this draft is just talented. Like at 15, we're going to get a talented player.
Yeah, you find somebody that's really good at 15 still.
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying that we can do that, because there's a bunch of picks that have been at 15 and up to 18 that turn out to be real good NBA players.
Mm-hmm.
And this draft is one of those deep drafts where I can find that player at 15. So unless something just crazy happens, I'm content with staying at 15 and just grabbing up a player that can, fulfill some missing issues that we have on the team.
The only thing that I look at that with, and I think the NBA is so different than the NFL in this regard, stars win.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a year in the NBA, maybe Detroit, but I get even then Chauncey Billups is a Hall of
Big time
Famer.
Chauncey
Rip was a star. Ben was a
but they're not really stars. Like they're
it was
top
Big Shot.
tier role players.
It was Big Shot. It was Big Shot.
And Big Ben.
And it was Chauncey Billups. And even that, like I love Chauncey, but Chauncey
Tayshaun with the defense.
Chauncey was the lead, or Tayshaun was the lead defender. Tayshaun was probably, if he wasn't one, he might have been two in the NBA.
And he was the mid-range. And he was the mid-range.
Yeah, he had a midi assassin. But like, I think you think about them players, like I don't think about none of them and go, like, of the point guards of that era, I'm not sitting there going Chauncey Billups killing what's an elite PG in that era, friggin' Derrick Rose.
Darren Williams.
I'm not saying that Chauncey Billups is killing Darren Williams. Like I think Chauncey made the Hall. Chauncey should have made the Hall. Chauncey, I think, also got gold medal, so that's why he's in there as well. It takes the whole basketball career into account. But we didn't look at Chauncey as a superstar when we was watching him.
He was Big Shot. He was Mr. Big Shot.
He was clutch.
So that might be the year where you say a superstar didn't win it. Every other year, it's a superstar.
It is, but
you got to find a superstar. And I like taking as many bites as the apple, if it is possible, to take the most talented player on the board.
Which is why I said keep the 15. That's why I said keep the 15, unless you're because you're not guaranteed anything in the draft, unless it's a very high likelihood that you are going to get a quality player by moving up.
Well, that's my point though, right? If you got Caleb Wilson and Keaton Wagler out of this draft,
oh, that's sexy.
You got two great bites at the apple.
That's sexy.
Your hope is that one of them turns into. Your hope is it don't turn into. What was that one draft that Minnesota traded up? Was it Rubio and
Johnny Flynn?
No,
and Johnny Flynn.
It was. They took
Rubio and Johnny Flynn. They took them both.
I remember that trash.
They took them both. We took Rubio and Johnny Flynn, and we were sitting there going, "What the heck?
I don't know what.
Why'd y'all do that?" And then Rubio was like, "Fine." Johnny Flynn sucked.
He was garbage. He was garbage, bro.
And Johnny Flynn was supposed to be the better of the two players.
He was cold in college, but that was it.
Yeah, it was
that transition. That transition is very important, which is why that's why. So like Peterson, that's why I'm worried about Peterson. Like, cause that transition, if you is less talent in the NCAA than on the garbage team in the NBA, and if you're not playing hard when it's easy, when it's difficult, where's that work ethic that you're gonna have to do to play hard? Because you can't just float in the NBA.
You got to teach them. You literally would have to get, unless you have to teach all of them, but you're gonna have to teach them how to play, what's gonna happen, what's gonna be acceptable, what's not. And the one part about Tiago that I like, everybody goes to Pop. Tiago Splitter is very close with all his teammates. Pop is cool. I need modest working with. Actually, I need modest working with Tiago Splitter. Get that elbow jumper, Tiago Splitter. But Pop is cool. But I want Caleb Wilson working with Tim Duncan. I want a David Robinson visit to the team.
Did you hear Draymond Green's assessment of Caleb Wilson?
I need them to stop talking.
I do too.
I need
that's
everyone
number one
to
pick
stop
potential.
talking about him.
That his floor is KG.
I know, bro.
Yeah, but here's the thing. That's
know.
been a take for a minute. I don't know how much of the tape Draymond is actually watching, but they said Caleb Wilson's floor is KG. They said it's still in the Giannis.
Bro, I've been.
I said I want the floor.
Yeah, KG's probably third best.
Hey, this is the thing though. This is the thing. This is a real conversation.
I've been talking about him since the NCAA in season.
Who's a better power forward?
Ooh.
KG or Giannis?
Ooh.
I'm going KG.
I'm going KG.
KG was a better facilitator. He was a better natural passer of the ball and got his teammates involved.
You got everybody else. Giannis passed the ball pretty well too now.
No, I'm gonna go KG because he was more consistent for a longer period of time.
Was he?
Yes.
Assists, rebounds, steals,
Giannis been in the league a long
everything.
time, averaging 25 plus.
I know, but if you look at all those years in Minnesota, now he was definitely. To me, KG had a more consistent.
Had 27 last year. They told him sit down, girl. Giannis, Jesus.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I didn't realize
since 2017, Giannis has averaged 26 plus points.
I know, but he
had to get what's his name out of his way.
KG was a better free throw shooter to me, more clutch.
Oh, KG definitely was a better free throw shooter.
So that's why. So that's why I say KG because he's more consistent in totality. But as far as like raw athleticism and skill. Giannis.
I would say this, how we broke it down when we were having this conversation.
Both, man, honestly, both was cold. Both was
cold.
Both going to the hall.
I'll take either one.
Both going to the hall.
We're asking who's the better
player to turn out
third best power forward of all time.
Yeah.
And who's the fourth best power forward of all time?
They both hall. If we get either one of them, if
that's what
Wilson,
I'll take the floor.
Right. If Wilson turns into either one of them, we bringing the chip back to Chicago.
With Modest still on the team and whoever else we get,
Because then we finally will have two players that are not playing the same position that we can actually build upon. Because that was the issue when we had DeMar and Zach. They never played together. It was one on, one off, one on, one off. My turn, your turn, my turn, your turn. Yeah. And we didn't have enough people around it. Like they have that in Boston. But to me, they had a bunch of role players in Boston. They had excuse me, what's Mr. Forehead in Boston?
White.
Yeah,
Derek
White. Derek White, great role player.
Yeah.
They had Al Horford, great role player.
Yeah.
You can have off and on, but you have role players that can pick up the slack. And to me, the Bulls, when we had DeMar and Zach, we didn't have enough role players that were good like that.
You had a bunch of young dudes that you were hoping took a step, and they all did.
Io was still
Io, the only one that took a step.
Kobe, yeah.
Hey, look, I'm just like. If we end up with either one, I'm very happy. I'll be a very happy camper.
100%.
But hey, man, let us know how you guys feel when you look at this draft. Who do you want? And who do you think the Bulls are going to end up with? Do you like the options at 15, or do you want to see the Bulls move up? Talk about all that and more. Of course, we keep you guys tapped in with everything going on within Chicago sports. Shout out to y'all, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do for Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, and Mr. Drew Better. If you knew better, you do better. Say who better?
Nobody, bro.
It is your boy, Pat the Designer. Back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. See Red Nation. Stand up.
Peace. Hey, why did he just sound like Mr. Rogers?
What'd he do?
Hello.
I always do.
Hello.
I love him.
Hello. That's Mr. Rogers' neighborhood,
Hello, neighbor.
bro.
That's
Would you be
my neighbor?
Could you be? Please won't you be my
neighbor?
I thought he was a fake nice guy until I heard he is actually really nice.
No, that dude's one of the nicest guys ever.
Mr. Rogers is a different show.
Yeah.
They said Mr. Rogers is like one of the best human beings of all time.
He's a low-key assassin.
And that like they got videos of him like speaking at Congress. He's like, this is how the children are gonna learn. What are you gonna do? You gonna take away from children? Like he was
he's similar to same as Donnie not Donnie the Partridge chick
Donnie Partridge.
Yeah, no, the chick though.
I don't know. I'm gonna be real with you. I wasn't a Partridge guy.
No, the chick with the big Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton.
Yeah, Dolly Parton. She does everything for minorities, and she don't even know. Like